then on verse 6, it says here, let's see, and Isaac dwelt in Gerar. Now, that place, Gerar, is a place of the Philistines. Okay? It's a city in Philistine. In the Philistine, whatever. All right? You get one picture, right? But that word, what it means rolling. All right? And the root word of that word is called Gerar. And that word means to drag along roughly. It also means to bring up. And it also means to meditate and to chew on. So this is what Isaac did. And this is what we have to do. Hopefully we're not, actually this is what a lot of the saints of God do. We do it all the time. We hear the promise of God. And what do? We drag the promise along with us roughly. It's kind of hard for us to completely bring up at first. But the more we meditate on it, the more we start bringing that word up into our hearts. And if we continue to meditate on it, we continue to see certain things, and then we begin to chew that word. Are you following me? And then eventually, if we do those things, if we meditate the word of God, if we chew the word of God, if we keep that word in us, then we will be able to do something with it. It doesn't just work there. You get me? It's not like just because you meditate the word of God and you read the word of God, it doesn't mean that the promise will happen for you. You have to take an action with your faith. And we're going to see what happened with Isaac here. What he did is what most people do. Are you following me? We've all done this at one point or another. Verse 7 says, and the man of the place asked him of his wife, and he said, she is my sister, for he feared to say she is my wife. Lest say he, the man of the place, shall kill me for Rebekah, because she was fair to look upon. Now, God just told Isaac, Isaac, I give you guys, I bless you, I'll multiply you, I give you the world. It's yours, okay? Why go from that to the man of Gerar, the man of that place, which are Philistines? They come to Isaac and ask about his wife. I asked myself that question, God, why do the scriptures jump from a scene of promise to a scene where men come and ask about his wife? And about him saying, hey, you know what? She's my sister, because he's fearful. Are you following me? I asked myself that question. And God told me, you gotta see it. You know, so I'm okay. I'm going to suggest to you, all right, that the word wife in the scriptures here means who you become one with. Are you following me? Because when a man and a woman come together, they become one, right? So it's not out of place. The scriptures don't jump into a totally different scene. It's still dealing with the same context of what God is doing. God is giving you a promise. Are you following me? And then the people of Gerar, which are Philistines. Philistines in the future will be that which have giants, which Goliath has to face David, which is the seed, which is the promise, which is what God is dealing with Isaac here. Are you following me? There's a promise given. The men of Gerar, which are Philistines, come now to Isaac. I'm suggesting to you that the enemy is coming to you the moment you get the word of God. The moment you receive the promise of God, and God tells you something, and you begin to meditate and to dwell upon it, the enemy is going to come, and he's going to ask you, you really believe that? You really one with that word? And what happens? Sometimes, and most of the time, people get intimidated. They become fearful because they see the circumstances, because they're not trusting in what God said. They're looking at their surroundings. They're paying attention to what's going on around them and to the natural people that are coming to them, influenced by evil, influenced by the enemy. Are you following me? And then they're going to question you. You really believe the word of God? All right. You're one with the word. Go ahead, pray for the sick. I want to see him get healed. How are you going to respond? Are you really one with the word? Okay, let's see. Let's see if God blesses you. We'll see what happens with you. And then all of a sudden, fear creeps in. The enemy creeps in. Unbelief creeps in. And guess what? If you don't believe the word of God, God can't help you.